Analytical paragraph writing. Today we're going to have a look at how we can use the TEAL structure, that is topic, explain, evidence and link, and apply that to construct an analytical paragraph on a persuasive speech. In particular, today we're going to be having a look at George W. Bush's 9/11 address to the nation, which was in response to the September 11 attacks by Al-Qaeda on America. We're going to answer the question, through his 2001 9/11 address to the nation, how has George W. Bush been able to raise contentious ideas which have then changed the world in which he lived? It's important to unpack the question and understand it, and then construct a thesis statement that you can respond to. In this instance, our thesis is, through an effective and skillful use of a variety of persuasive language techniques utilized in his 2001 speech, George W. Bush not only raised the contentious issue of terrorism affecting a nation, but also called for a united response to terrorist acts from the world. The first paragraph that you need to write is about context. You need to apply your TEAL structure here and introduce the speech and speaker, when it was delivered, and then give an overview of the historical, social and cultural context. Finally, you sum up and link to thesis. Terrorism was not unknown prior to the events of 2001. However, the deliberate and planned attack on Americans not only affected their nation, but changed the way the world thinks and acts. George W. Bush, the President of America at the time, was forced into the horrific event that evidently changed the world forever. He delivered his response speech from the Oval Office in Washington, D.C. on the evening that the 4 passenger airliners were hijacked and crashed into various significant United States buildings, killing thousands. Despite a general dislike for his leadership, Bush was able to respond to the events in a way that promoted unity against the turmoil. Through his powers of persuasion and immediate response, Bush provided a sense of calm in the horrendous storm that was terrorism in America, and was able to reassure the nation and the wider world that action will be taken. The second paragraph that you need to write is about the persuasive language techniques. Again, follow your TEAL structure there, and you need to identify 3 standout examples, have strong analysis, and links to thesis. Bush's speech incorporates a range of persuasive language techniques which effectively forced his audience to recognize the need for unity and a shared response in a time of absolute turmoil. He uses an extended metaphor to remind citizens that America is resilient, and that despite the attacks, this resounding spirit cannot be broken. His reference to the foundations that America is built on, remaining strong like steel, as the country is the brightest beacon for freedom and opportunity, and that no one will keep that light from shining. Paragraph 2. This provides a strong message of hope, a message to inspire and galvanize ordinary citizens and remind them that in spite of the disastrous events, their spirit will not be extinguished. Bush calls to the higher power to provide a sense of righteousness and comfort through the use of sibilance when he seeks prayers for those whose worlds have been shattered, whose sense of safety and security has been threatened. Paragraph 6. He acknowledges that the terrorist acts have shattered lives and spread fear. However, he reassures citizens that with the united front, freedom will triumph. Bush finishes the speech with an extensive use of inclusive pronouns to send a strong message of unity. All Americans from every walk of life unite. We go forward to defend freedom and all that is good and just in our world. Paragraph 8. The use of all, every, we and our reinforces that the United States is not alone, and that the world will stand united against terrorism. Through his masterful use of an extensive variety of persuasive language techniques, Bush not only raised the contentious issue of terrorism in society, but was able to persuade and reinforce a broken nation that hope is not lost, that freedom will triumph over fear, and that America is not alone in the fight. That is an example